There we go, rego sorted. Go X! No way! Pimp my ride, man! Hi, I'm Dan and this is my ride.
So you want to be a player, but your wheels ain't fly. You gotta hit us up to get a pimped out ride.
You got to pimp my ride.
Damn right.
You got to pimp my ride.
Alright, so I just got my car back from Pimp My Ride. They've really upped their game on this one. No TVs in the hubcaps, but done an exceptional job. They even registered it for me. Top work, X. No, seriously, we've been working pretty hard to get this one ready for the Muddy MayHem. It's on next weekend. This car, it's been about 10 years in the making. It started off as a nice Beetle, I suppose, and I got the idea that I was gonna drive the ultimate shitbox. It's gonna be on my terms, so we started building it. Everyone's had a go at it over the years. The kids have been in there wire wheeling it out. The wife got in there, sanded all the paint off, you know, sanded up and hand off, and yeah, it's to get it to this stage, you know, it's been quite a long time in the making. It's a funny story, right? So it was on many different wheels. I've had like I've had 19-inch wheels on it, I've had 20s on it. They didn't quite fit properly, so we went back to standard wheels, and we were just going to run it like that because I was going to get it registered. And then we thought, well, let's go get it ready for the Muddy MayHem. But if we're going to go and scream around in the mud, these little skinny Beetle wheels aren't going to go and, you know, we're not going to get any traction. So onto Facebook Marketplace, and we come up with these set of wheels here, right? They were on my original car that I bought and I built another car out of, the beach buggy. They were on the original car and I sold them 16 years ago. And we found them. I thought, oh, they look like my old wheels. Anyway, I showed up to the bloke's house to buy them. No joke, they were the original wheels that I had sold 16 years ago. So I got them back. And I sold them for a couple $100 back in the day, and I only paid $100 for them. So, cheering, made money on them. And to get it ready for the Muddy MayHem, I had I wanted to put some mud tyres on it. So we found the bloke at Super Cheap Tyres over at Berkeley Vale. He went and sourced these mud tyres for me. They'll be the world's smallest muddies. It's probably like the only Beetle that's tucking mud tyres in the country, I reckon. Yeah, it was good of him to source those tyres, and he did it super quick too, so what a legend. I needed a new running board, so I built one out of wood. So the idea of the car was to build it on a dead set budget. There's no, you know, you build it next to nothing. If you can make it or find something to do a job. So basically it was built out of shit we found lying on the shed floor. And, you know, like we could have went and bought the clips for these chrome strips, but, you know, a pop rivet worked. So it's just about making it work. All the rust repair sections that you see, they're cut out of either an old door or a 44-gallon drum, something that I found along the way, and yeah, it seems to just work. Don't judge my welds. When I first started welding, I was used to welding semi-trailers back together, and I have never welded sheet metal. This was the first time, so I had a go, and I realized that you can't just weld sheet metal like you can putting semi-trailers back together. So my welds eventually got better until we got to the last weld, up here. These are my last ones here. They're a lot better. So engine wise, it's had a few different combinations in it over the years. This car I originally bought when I was 17. I drove it around the world for a few years and then rust got to it. It rusted out in the back window here, and I could no longer register it. So I took it off the road. Life got in the way, had a few kids, things like that. And it had a few different engine combinations. So the original Beetle engine that had it was a matching number car. I had another Beetle, and then that Beetle needed an engine. I pulled this engine out, put it in the other Beetle, and then ended up selling that car, so I had no engine for this. I then had a Subaru engine in it, an EJ22. I had a Commodore supercharger on it. It sat up here somewhere. It was pretty cool, but it just didn't look right, and it's been done a million different times, and it just didn't have the right feel for what I liked. So I sat around with one of my best mates around a campfire, and we're like, what are we going to do with this? And he said, why don't you put a Ford Pinto in it? I thought, yeah, you know those little Escorts with the twin Webers on the side, and it sound really nice. I really like carburetors. I thought, yes, that's what we'll do. In the end, one of them was a bit hard to find. I found this engine. I found this engine for $150 on Marketplace. It's a good old trusty Toyota 4K. So $150 on Marketplace. Yes, that's what's got to go in. I went to the effort of, I measured it all up and it fit perfectly, except I didn't calculate the thickness of the adapter plate. So that pushed it out and had to cut this shit out here. So I had to cut all this out here. It fit quite nice. It's not the fastest thing in the world, it's actually quite slow, but it was never built to be fast. It was built to just drive. It was going to be my daily driver. It was just built to just cruise. That's all I built. Over the years I've had different setups on it. I've had a turbo sitting up here, which I never finish anything. I just get to halfway through and go, no, I don't like that anymore, and change it back. And for this Muddy MayHem, I had no carb on it. It was running a bit rough, and I thought, okay, well, I'm going to put dual Webers on it. I thought, okay, well, let's track down some. Ended up finding a guy on Facebook. He was a Toyota guru. He was a gun at these sort of engines, and this is what he specialised in. So I gave him a ring. He's in Melbourne, Peter Robinson Automotive. I gave him a ring. 83-year-old man answers the phone. Peter Robinson himself. The knowledge this man possessed was insane, right? He just knew everything. And although I've rebuilt carburetors myself in the past, I thought, you know what, I'll just send it down to him. He just said, send your carb down, I'll fix it, no worries. Anyway, $150 to fix the carb, and it was all sorted. I can't even buy a gasket kit for that. So I sent it down to Melbourne, he sorted it, come back, I bolted it back on. It's never run better. It runs so smooth. I'll kick it in the guts actually, yeah? So don't mind my self-induced exhaust rattles here. Something stupid that we put on. Don't really know why I do half the shit I do. But so cooling wise, okay, if you look up underneath this parcel tray, I've I've chopped out the back around the back there, and you can see there used to be a parcel tray in underneath the Beetle there, and that's where you used to keep the fully thick subwoofers. I chopped all that out and had a Jeep Cherokee radiator lying around, so I made mounts for that. So Jeep Cherokee radiator fits right in the back there nicely. 2 thermo fans. Mate of mine welded up all these stainless steel coolant lines for me, and it just runs nice. It cools, does everything it should do, runs perfectly. Mind you though, I've only ever driven it from there to there. That's it, you know, it's like up the driveway. So very reliable from there to there. Interior wise, this car's always had a loud stereo in it. It was always known for a loud stereo. I had to put that back in it. However, I chopped out all the back parcel tray area. If you see underneath this parcel tray is just it's just sheet metal now, because that's where the radiator is. But I chopped all that out. That's where my sub used to be. I chopped that out now, so I had no room for a sub. So I had to come up with something to cover that. I come up with this idea to use those headlight surrounds as speaker grills. Got myself some splits and mounted the tweeter up in the C-pillar. You can probably see it in through here. Yeah. Then I made some door trims. Still wasn't loud enough. I just put these speakers in. I haven't quite finished it yet. Only 90% there. You can't finish something, because you've got to move on to the next project. That's my motto. Never finish anything. I found these at a swap meet up at Webby's Speed Shop. He was selling some bits and pieces. I picked them up for a bargain and pulled them apart, put some little Rockford Fosgate 4-inch speakers in them. They sound okay, you know, they're not that special, but the stereo itself was very flat, so I went and got some speakers and added them into the equation, and it sounds much better. Still got to tune it, but yeah. The seats come from a Toyota RAV4, I think. So there was another marketplace special, but I didn't find them. My missus found them. I come home one day and she goes, "Oh, I got you some seats for the Rat Rod." Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, leather seats. I was pretty wrapped with that. Yeah, they fit well. Did some nice welding to get them in, which you can't see. That's good. Oh yeah, this is one of my favourite pieces of this. So I always liked the Monster Taco setup. So, but I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, so I found that alarm clock and gutted it out and made it look like it's meant to be there. Every sound system needs a subwoofer, okay, but every rat rod needs a beer keg. It's probably just cover that. Yeah, so normally I had a 15-inch subwoofer in here. Didn't sound too good and it wouldn't fit in the keg, so I swapped it out for a nice 12-inch one, and it sounds really good now, so I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, just a few little things now to finish off, and we're ready for the Muddy MayHem. We're going to chew up some mud. Looking forward to it.
So you want to be a player, but your wheels ain't fly. You gotta hit us up